Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And it's Friday, yes indeed it is, and I hope you're all going to have an awesome weekend. Right, we're up again with more from KSCRAFT, and today I'm doing the bag topper and also the wand. Now I've seen other design team members do this, and everybody's kind of stuck to the Mickey Mouse Disney theme, so I thought I'd try and be different. Yeah. I can be trying at times, and I'm going to try and do it princess. So I have cut out my bag topper, and I've done it in heavyweight white cardstock. Now my paper that I'm using today is digital, and it's from American Crafts Digital, and this is the Maggie Holmes confetti pack. I think I have that correct, yeah. So trying to be a little bit Princessy Belle, if you know what I mean. So I've gone with a white base, and this is patterns paper, obviously, because I thought that would be a little bit different. So it's got a ditzy little rose on it, and the magical comes in 2 pieces. So I'm going to have to kind of line those up, and it also says times, so it's magical times. And if you look on there, look at that, you've got a tiny little heart. Isn't that sweet? I noticed that after I cut it out. I've got a bit of dried glue there that I don't need, and then the times, once I position it, will rest on top. Now from the wand I got 2 spare bits that came out of the frame, because of course you have to cut 2. You have to cut a top frame and you have to cut a foam frame. So I've got a yellow and I've got a pink star, which I'm going to use on top of my bag topper. And then for my wand, I love this bit. You get this swishy magical piece, you know, like when you're waving your wand around and you get all your magic dust and swishiness. Yeah, I'm sure that's not a word, but it sounds good. And I've done that in gold foil. And then for the handle of my bag, because I just digressed a bit there, I've also done that in that little ditzy rose and dot pattern. So that's going to go onto there. And then, as I said, I had to cut out 2 frames. So I've used Dollar Tree foam board. I always like to do my shakers using Dollar Tree foam board, because it doesn't, you know, stretch and stuff. And then my other frame, which will go on top of there, is done in a kind of raspberry pink to match that one. And then my wand I've cut in yellow. And we are going to put all this together. And then for inside of my wand, I've got a lovely little ditzy piece of paper again. I'm not sure which way around that's going to go. Probably that way with the rose pointed up. I'm going to use a little bit of my precious vintage sparkle. Look at that. I'm down to my last little bit. I don't know whether it shows close up on here, but it's like sugary powder. It is gorgeous. And whoever makes it, I think it's Advantus Core or something. They need to start making it again. That's all I can say. And a little piece of acetate, you can just about see it there, and using the star die that comes with it, which also cut that piece out. So I've got my little bit of acetate for my shaker, and you also get a little handle for the base of your wand with which to wave it, so you don't drop it when you're waving your wands. That's all I'm going to say. Right, so let's start gluing our magical times, because this is really quick and easy. And I always say that before making the gravest of errors. Who knows? I have had coffee this morning, so I should be alright. Whoops. Get my fingers under there. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue to do the handle. Now you can layer those words up on foam as well if you want to. Everything's always up to you. When you've got your die, it's yours, and you can do whatever you want with it. Be as creative as you wish. You could even use this for Halloween. You could have little cats and cauldrons and everything on there. And magical times is still very apt. You could cut these in black or purple or orange. You know, pop your little witches and your little bats and stuff onto it. It's still going to look really sweet. Now in with the magical. So I'm trying to be very skimpy with this so that it dries quick. Apparently we're going to have a glorious weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, because you know me and my camera, I can't always see. I'm just trying to space it as best as I can. So I've got my Magi down. And then I'm going to put my Cull. But you can see this is, you know, absolutely something that can be changed up. You don't have to be totally Disney. You can even have a magical Christmas, can't you? So, right, let's space that out and get that up there. Make sure I'm not lopsided. Pull that down just a little bit. And that's on. And now we need our times. I do love this cardstock. This is from Joanne. It's the basil cardstock, which comes in all different textures, and it's great to get it when it's on sale. When you get 3 or 4 sheets for $1. And then I want to space that, and hopefully that's straight. So we've got our magical times, and now I want to use those stars. So I'm going to pop the pink one, I think, at the back. I'm not going to pop these up on foam pads because I think they'll just look nice as is. I'm just trying to see where I put my glue. So I'm just going to go off the A and the L and add a couple of stars. I think there. Yeah, I'll go there. I mean, how quick was that? That is the bag topper done. And you've got stitching around if you have a look. And if you want to fussy cut, you can go all the way around that and make a panel for a card. So then all you have to do is fold it. And you have a fabulous little bag topper. All ready to go to the party. I will use my bone folder on that bit just to make it stick down a bit better. You could do this for St. Patrick's Day as well, couldn't you? You could just have the magical, leave the times off and put your little pot of gold or something there. But look at that, isn't that sweet? I think that one is now very princessy. So there's our magical times, and now we're going to do the shaker. So I'm just moving that out of the way, and onto here I want to glue my foam. So I'm kind of like, no, I don't want to glue my foam, do I? I want to glue my acetate. See what I mean? You can't trust me. Oh, my poor dogs, bless them. They look at me sometimes like I'm totally crazy. And they're probably right. So we've got a little bit of acetate there. And now I want my foam down. So I need to position that. And I'm just going to vanish for a couple of minutes because that glue needs to dry before I drop any glitter in there. Otherwise it'll just end up sticking all around the edges. So I'll be back in a second. Right, it's still a little tiny bit damp, but I'm going to risk it. So, and then I'll be able to put the back on the shaker. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glitter into there. I'm going to actually use the handle. I'm going to use the handle of the wand just to get a little bit out. So I'm just shaking it here. And then I'm using the handle of my wand as my scoop. I think two little handle scoops is enough. Because it's a really cute little aperture. There. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to leave it at that, just a tiny little sprinkle. And I'm going to share something with you in a minute, because I was tidying up my craft room last night and I found a box under a box, and it turned out to be a box of stuff that I should have taken to the old folks home and totally forgot. And it's got to be 3 or 4 years old. So if you like looking at how, you know, makers have changed over the years, I'm going to show you some stuff in a second. It was quite fun finding it. And I think some of them are DIY art bin who isn't around much anymore. I think she either had a little boy or a girl and vanished, so I hope she's happy wherever she is. Right, now this is the back. Now I have got to let that dry, so I'm going to be back in a second and then we'll flip it over and have a good look. Right, so I'm prepared to risk it and I'm just going to flip it. There we go. So just enough in there. That's my personal preference anyway. Or you could use little micro beads or something. Now is for the rest of the decoration, and I want to put my swirly twirly on there. So I'm actually going to thread that through. I'm going to thread it through and under. Because if you're going to have a wand, it's got to be doing some magic. So I'm actually going to attach that to that. But you could use this multiple times as an element on a card, and it would look absolutely great. So there's one, there's two, and that's going to take a couple of seconds to dry. I'll just move it around. Now we need to put the frame on top and we need to put the handle on. But this is such a sweet little make. And you could also attach a toothpick onto the back of that, and they'd make great little pretty cupcake decorations. So I'm just going to move that around. And now I'm going in with my handle that I also used as my glitter scoop. So I'm actually going to put the glue onto that in the middle. Isn't that cute? Oh, I do think that's so sweet. I'm going to pick everything up now. Right, so we've gone from dark colours and Mickey Mouse to more of a Belle Princessy. There we go. So that's our little bag topper, and of course you'd fasten that around your little bag of goodies. And then we've got our little wand with its little bit of magic going on. Let's see how close we can get. There you go. You can see it's such a little aperture. It only needs a tiny bit of sparkle. But I do love that magical little swoosh. And that glue's not dry yet. But now I'm going to take you down memory lane. Some of you might actually remember some of these. So the first thing I'm going to share that I found are these 3 cutesy little frames that I did. I did these a long time ago, and I think it's because I was showing UV resin with you and paint pens. And I've got the little boy and little girl. So I did those. This has got to be 4 years ago, has to be. And then we've got these Better Together. Just really cute. Yeah, that was sharing paint pens. And then the few cards that I found, well, it was more than a few actually. I remember this one, this Christmas one here. Oh, no, not that one. This one, little girl dancing with her umbrella with a little flower in her hair. Oh, it feels like yesterday. And watercolour Easter cards that I did. I think that one was for surprise creation. So these are all going to the old folks home now. And this one, I think, was my first paper piecing video that I did for MX Art. So I just threw lots of stuff on there and just layered it up. That little girl and her little socks, when I looked at it, they still made me smile. But yeah, that's got to be 4 years old. And then I had a little potato head, and I think that this one was DIY Art Bin. Have an extra special day, but I thought he was hilarious. And I bet you can't get these dies anymore. And then another watercolour one that I did, which was a mouse in the garden, and this was surprise creation for her frames and her Easter egg frames once again. And I did that rabbit and suspended all the little cards, just printed those off and cut them out. So that was another cute one. I think this was MX Art. Little birdies. Got some glue and stuff on it. Yeah, fast asleep in their nest. And then I remember doing these robot ones, which were Dollar Tree stickers. Yeah, they were quick and easy. And I think these two were DIY Art Bin, which were the little snowy marshmallows. I think you could probably still get those dies because she has got a site up. It's just she doesn't release anything new anymore. But just really cute. And this sparkly sunflower was one of my first ones because I had to piece all of those back in, and then I just glittered the whole thing. And then I think this was MX Art, the Shaker Bunnies, and I think she still does those. And I know you can still get those sequins. So, you know, a major digression there. But I was so surprised when I found them. I really was. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I do hope you have an absolutely awesome weekend. Here's our little magical sparkles once again, and I will be back again on Monday with more from KSCRAFT. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.